We heard a lot today about involvement of children into public engagement, and I heard so many interesting stories. Probably today I will take the chance also to highlight another aspect of public engagement, which is the learning experience from the perspective of the academic. And just to say that this is, for me, a fundamental point, because in my research, I learn a lot from the people I engage with. So I'm a big advocate for two-way communication, two-way beings, as we heard before from other speakers, a learning process where not just the audience learns something from you, but also you as a speaker learn something. And this is definitely a problem from my perspective. I'm very passionate about this, as in recognizing that probably there are way too many platforms, if you ask me, for scientists to talk about what they do, which is obviously extremely important. But probably we also need to think about other ways to engage people. So in a way, for academics to be more on a listening side, as we heard it before from the BSI, more listening and trying to understand what people want to know, and based on that, trying to kind of help if we can. Rather than just continuously talking at people, if you want. So with that in mind, I want to introduce you to an amazing platform, which is Frontiers from Young Minds. And this is part of the Frontiers platform for publication. Many of you, even not necessarily in the field of biomedical science, that will be aware of the platform, of Frontiers platform. And what I'll do, rather than talking about the journal itself, which I will briefly mention later on, I will actually explain to you what happened when you try to publish a paper in Frontiers for Young Mind. Let me start by first saying that Frontiers for Young Mind is an open access non-profit scientific journal, which is, and that is the key point, review and assess by the kids. So basically, is your audience deciding whether or not your article is worthy of a publication. It's free to publish, it's free to read, and free to distribute. So it's an excellent platform in that case, in the sense that it doesn't require financial investment or any extra effort from on behalf of the scientist. Here, I'm showing you a very nice picture of a live review of a paper, which seems to be almost like inverting the roles, right? By the kids are judging us based on our ability to communicate. And so how does this work? Basically, let's suppose that you just written an amazing paper, but also you're just interested in a particular topic, in something that you're really, really passionate about. But let's suppose that you just written a very nice paper, very nice publication, and what you want is to share it with the young audience. So what you are asked to do is to rewrite and rephrase the whole of your work and discovery in a way that children between age of 9 to 15 can actually understand what you're talking about. And so I'm showing you here the team involved in this enterprise. So we got two field chief editor, basically the founders of the journal, and these are basically the main editor or the section editor. And I'm a section editor for health together with Pasquale Maffia, University of Glasgow, but it's not just biomedical science and health. There is neuroscience, neuroscience is also biomedical science, biodiversity, mathematics, and so on and so forth. So the platform is made in a way that you can submit an article to any of this field, and probably we will expand the section of field even more. Once you submit the article, there is a very preliminary process whereby an amazing team of probably ex-scientists, let's put this way, makes a first check. So these are the editorial office of Frontiers Young Mind, with Savage and Hedwig, and Noor that I haven't listed here. They basically look at the generality of the paper and they look at the suitability of the paper overall. Once that is done, they even have a sort of software they assess readability. Then the paper comes back basically to us. And so what we basically do, we try to then make sure that the paper is readable for children 9 to 15. And I must say, I'm quite active contributor in terms of editorial board to a number of journals in my field, immunology, inflammation, and other interdisciplinary journals. And I must say, I've never seen so many rejection as in Frontiers for Young Mind. I don't want to sound a little bit harsh, but probably the rate of rejection is 1 to 4. And this is really shocking to me because it seems like we as a scientist have completely forgotten what it means to be a child at 9 to 15. And sometimes talking about quantum physics to a 9-year-old is not necessarily something that is very accessible. So here is the first learning process for the authors that they need to sort of realize that what they're doing or the way they are writing is not really accessible. So once this first screening is passed, so the section editor, in this case for health, Pasquale and myself, agree that the paper should go out. Then the paper goes to an associate editor. The associate editor is more like someone that is more on the side of the reader and reviewer, so to speak. It's a sort of middleman that helps the process. And we have a huge panel of experienced academics. They work with associate editors, and they're also learning, obviously, like anyone else, out of this process. So the associate editors then send the paper to who? They send it to, and this is very beautiful, to an actual class, for instance, or to a pair, if you like, so a science mentor and reviewer pair. So these are the people that review your paper. They could be a class, so 5, 6, 10, 20 people. They could be just one-to-one. They could be a group of 3. Sometimes it's parents with their kids, especially if they are scientists. And the science mentor is basically the field, the person in the field, the one that actually engages with the children in discussion and foster the whole exchange of information. And what they do is quite interesting. They just read the paper, they explore with the reviewers whether or not what they're doing is clear, what they've written is clear, if the science is clear or not. And once that is done, basically then the paper somehow gets back to us through the associate editors and the section editor. So once the scientist has replied to all the comments of the children and the children are happy with it, then the paper actually goes forward. And as I said, this is a remarkable process. I've shown here few very interesting comments from the children, where you can see that sometimes they are very harsh. Like, I like the article, but it was a bit long and I got bored. So they are very straightforward, and that's the beauty probably of being a child. You don't have any filter in a way. And you know, they're also very mesmerized by what we do. And you know, they will never think about rats as being extremely smart in certain type of tasks, and so on and so forth. So this is indeed a very revealing process for them. And as I said before, this is a two-way process, and this is why I value it so much. You will see that many reviewers and the authors, sorry, I lost my track. They actually learned a lot out of their submission. So they found the experience extremely engaging, extremely revealing, and in many ways there are even some funny jokes about the mythical reviewer tree, as in real life for us scientists, there is always someone that is very harsh. So this is indeed a two-way process, and the final product I must show you in a second is amazing, because there is the whole team of Frontiers that is dedicated to make it visually appealing and very, very engaging. And I'm showing you a few examples here of these beautiful drawings done by the journal. So you submit an initial draft figure, and then they make it beautiful for you. They make this cartoon for you. There is an abstract. The article itself is never too long. It's about 2,000 words long. And the beauty of the article is that everyone gets recognized. So here I'm highlighting basically the authors of the article, so the people that have written the article to begin with, and you know, you see a nice picture and you get a link to their bio, and also beautiful picture or the avatar of this young reviewer that have done the job together with the science mentor. So it's an amazing, really an amazing experience on both sides. Besides sort of submission of new article, or what we call core concept, so some key concept of health or any other science, we also, the journal has launched a very intriguing initiative. These are the collection. So basically submission on a specific topic. I'm showing you here one that we launched, myself and Pasquale, was about understanding or knowing more about the life of scientists that discover very amazing drug that we use every day. So it's about the biography of these people. How did they come up with the discovery that they had? And this would have been somehow inspiring for them. Even more ambitiously, very recently, the journal has launched, believe it or not, the Nobel collection. So we actually, the journalists managed to find a Nobel Prize winner. They are writing about their discovery, and this has been of an amazing impact on everyone. More than 50 million, name on the social media, and obviously more than 350,000 view of the article itself. The journal is getting bigger and even more popular, and we are very proud of this. I mean, I do very little, I must say, but I'm very proud to be part of this community. And the number of reviewers, science mentor is increasing by the time. I particularly like the idea that the journal is very inclusive and has at its core many aspects of being reachable by everyone, and in every field and in every part of the country. There are a number of ideas that the journal suggests. If you want to follow it, you can even use the journal itself as a resource for learning and teaching at school. And so there are a number of activities that you can do. We've seen schools organizing mini conferences or designing new experiments based on what the article has said or the collection has said. With that being said, I'll just skip and go straight to the contact details. So this is the contact details for the journal, but you can find it easily online, Frontiers for Young Mind. And these are my contact details and Pasquale's contact details in case you want to submit an article to the section of health, or I might redirect you to whoever is in charge for the other section. And last but not least, all the charities and contributors, they allow this journal to be financially viable, because as you can imagine, this is very expensive. One last thing, we're talking about languages. The journal is currently being translated in Hebrew, Spanish, and there are more and more languages that will be used to make it even more accessible to everyone.